Pinyin Hitbonenut Achad Min Ribui Kol HaPratim El Klal Echad HaKolam Yachad V'hu Kmo Kol Shechafetz HaShem Asa B'Shamayim U'Ba'aretz Chulu Shechafetz HaShem Zeh Harei Shor Sheb'Mokar HaRishon Shnigra Yochid Chulu Hu P'chinat Chofetz Chesed HaYuli Ha'atzmi Shv'atzmus Oin Soif HaPoshet B'Tachlit Keteva HaToiv HaChesed HaAtzmi Anatoa B'Etzem HaNefesh Kmo Shmevor B'Ot Yud Kasher Allah Rotzen V'Chofetz Havaya Lahate B'Derech Prat Miklalus Ora Yuli Azeh Yara B'Ribu Yishtalshelut B'Atzmusa Adayim B'Pchinas Einsof Ad Sheba Zeh HaRotzen L'Pchinat Netzach V'Heid B'Chitzonius Kli HaLev V'Hainu Chitzonius Midois Shebemalchus D'Einsof. In other words, it's talking now B'Chitzonius Kli HaLev of Ein Sof.
Right.
Hagam Shesham L'Mayla Mayla M'Pinas Hakbolas Oz B'Kelim Chulu. Even over there, really, you can't really say this like this, because there's no such thing up there as Oris and Kelim altogether. Ela Kol B'Pinas Ein Sof Mamish. But nonetheless, the same like we said before, that really you can't even say Spheros over there. So if you can say Spheros, you can already say the whole thing with the Patzufim and everything.
Right.
Ela Kol B'Pchinas Eisos Mamish Kshashir Be'asma Chulu in the thing of the Glif Glifu. V'achar Kach Nitzamtzim V'Yarod Ad B'Pchinas Ka Be'eses Spheros De Gulam Chulu Ad B'Pchinas Keser De'ak Shehu Mokar HaRotzen Anelam Shabali the Gili Rotzen La Rotzen, the Kesed Atik Yomit. The Rotzen Anelam, which is the Rotzen, which comes into the Gili of the Rotzen La Rotzen in the regular Rotzen and Tainug and Kesed of Atik.
Right.
Means in Radlo. For Malchus of Ak. Ad Chinas Rotzen V'Tainug Sheba'ava Shemitztam Tzimim Berotzen v'seichel v'asoga means Keser, Chochma and Bina. Gimel Reish and the Chub, the Chochma and Bina. So from Keser of Atik comes down to, from Malchus of Arich to become Keser of Avah, and that's Mitzamtzim into Kachav of Avah, Chochma and Bina. Chulu Ad Chinat Midois Zayin Tachtoinet de Bina, going down like what was all explained before. Ad Chinas Katnas Moichen de Nehi de Avah Bezah, till the Katnas HaMoichen of Nehi, the Bechain comes out to become the Moichen of Zah, canal. So Misham Mitztamzim Oid the Gil Madreges the Chabad Chagas de Zah, etc. Chulu Ad Bechinat Chitzonius HaKelim Netzach V'Hoid Shebchinat Hevel Achaz Chulu. And this is all like it happens by a person also. Sham Misayim Oiv HaRotzen HaPoshut Shayakolu Behelam Atzmus Chofetz Chesed HaYilu Chulu. That's why that is all called Elokus. And Biyah is already called separate. V'Remikol Ribui Protei Hishtalshelut Hazos Nasa Hemshech Levat Achat. Just like by a person, that from his inner rotzen to his external heart, it's immediate. Merotzen Levat Achat, immediately. Merotzen She'ala Behela Ma'atzmus Ad Sheba B'Murkash Behevel Alev, till the lungs.
Right.
Mishum the iyu b'chayoy v'gamoy yichad, because he and his life force and his kalim and his body is all one thing. Mamish one thing, like by a person, that there's no differentiations, and he immediately feels it in his heart beating faster and his lungs breathing faster, or slower, whatever, according to the inner emotion. Pirush, Iu Pchinas Asmus Oyin Seif Mamish, V'chayoyi Pchinas Eses Spheres the Helam V'gilui of the light, Kishalheves Chulu, Ad Eses Spheres the Zah Chulu, V'garmoyi Pchinas HaKelim the Zah, Chad, It's all one thing. Hakol b'pchinas Ein Sof adayin, even the kelim. Why? What do you mean? So how are the kelim if they're Ein Sof? Kigam shepchinas hakelim magbilim amidot chitzonius b'lev dezoh and betachlis hakatnos lagabe erech reimus atzmus amidot shepchinas malchus Ein Sof. Mikol mokum nechsha pchinas seif l'roish. Not only that, like you said before, that the kelim of Zoh, it's not actually an actual gvul, but the power to gvul, same like the eye. Really, the eye can see infinite things.
Right.
But it is the power to bring it down to a gvul. And the same thing like the kelim, but really this thing that they're considered a katnos, that's the katnos soif l'roish, compared to the asmos or in soif.
Right.
But as far as we're concerned, it's all still Ein Sof. Mosh Neymar Kairi Hadeiris Mereish Ta'ak. The Spiros of Zoh, even the Chitzonius, the Kelim, comes up from the Reish Ta'ak. Kmo V'siyuma and B'soiv U'b'pchinas Katnus Hamidus de Zoh U'lakach Nikra Zoh. That's why it's called Zoh, little face. Katnos apon, meaning the small personality. There's a big personality. There's a little personality, and arich means the big personality, and ak is also called arich the arich.
Right.
Because it's called rotzen l'rotzen. Rotzen is called arich, and ak is called rotzen l'rotzen. So. And this is also like the three letters. There's the regular letters, the small letters, and the big letters. So the arich is called big compared to Zoh.
Right.
But it's small compared to ak.
Right.
L'kach nikra Zoh katnas upon him ke'ampe zutre, like a little face. The tinok cotton, like the little tiny personality of a little baby, lagabe pchinas ampi raberbe, zaken shekon l'chochma. But a big guy, meaning a guy who the sophistication of an old rabbi compared to the sophistication of a little baby. Shadez, tachlis, akatnis, amaychin, about all he can think about is he wants a lollipop. And the old rabbi is the Tachlis HaGadlus. Mikol Mokim, Mishtovim Be'erech Adam. But nonetheless, they're both a person. Rak, Shazeh Nikra Adam Katan, V'zeh Nikra Adam Gadol. Adam HaGadol is a little guy and he's a big guy. Aval Tzir Oifnav, but the way the Tzir of the Oifnim, this one has a brain and this one has a brain. This one has emotions and this one has emotions.
Right.
This one has a body, and this one has a body. Echadu, the tzir oifenim is the same thing. Ki bekote mideis of gamkin al pisechel v'rotzen hanelam. It also works exactly the same way, really.
Right.
But it comes in a very small way. So you can only think about little things. ובאדם הגודל מדויסו וגדולים על פי רחב שיחו הרצוין הרמה ונשקף בישר כולו. כך ערך קטנוס המידס דזו שהם המידס שמצומצמים בקטנוס השכל נצח והוית כולו, means it's after the seichel, לגבי בחינס ערך אנפרי שנקרא אנפרי רברבי, גדלוס הפונן. והמויכין דזוקין שכון החוכמה ממוקר החוכמה נלומה, שלמעלה מקרו מחולו. זאת אומרת, not just a regular smart guy, but a wise sage who has not just the chokhmah, but the mokra chokhmah.
Right.
Shehu p'chinat sechel anelam sheberotzen anelam hulu shehu sherish netzalam hulu. Again, gam amida sheberotzen v'sechel anelam de'arich anpin hu b'pchinat kadnos ha'erich legabe b'pchinas odem hagodol yeser. The super big guy. V'hu b'pchinas ak shenikra odem debria hulu. these are the three Adams. Adam the Bria, Adam the Yetzirah, and Adam the Asiya.
Right.
There's the little guy, the medium guy, and the real big guy. In other words, the little guy, the big guy, and the super big guy. Yadua Dezah Nikra Adam the Asiya Barach Anpe and Nikra Adam the Yetzirah. The Ak Adam the Bria. And this is all of Oilamos the Qualius.
Where does Ava fit into this?
Where does it? Ava doesn't fit into this.
Well,
these are retainers. The way it works is it skips over. There's Atik, then there's a Rotzen, then there's Seichel, and then there's a Rotzen. In other words, there's the Rotzna Asmi, and then there's Atika de Kol Atikin. In Ak, in the Machshava Ktuma, there's a level of a Rotzen, of a Tainuk. Then there's a level of a Rotzen. And the levels of Tainuk and Ava are conduits. So Ava is part of Zah, really.
That's what I wanted to know. Is it part of the Zah or part of the Arich?
No, it's part of the Zah. It's after Arich. Arich is higher than Ava.
So the Ava
is the conduit. It's the conduit between Arich and Ze'er.
Right. So it's actually part of the Adam de Yetzirah.
It's part of Adam de Yetzirah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not. It's part of Adam da Asiya.
I mean Adam da Asiya, I mean.
Right. It's part of Adam da Asiya.
Right,
It's called the Moichin of Zah.
Right, okay.
Even though the Moichin of Zah is the Katas HaMoichin of Zah, which is only the Bechain, but really there's also a Gadlus HaMoichin of Zah, which is Mamish Avot themselves.
Right.
Okay, but that's Chetonius Avot.
Right.
Pnimius Avot is an Arich.
Okay, so
and
that's kind
part
of a link.
And that's part of Arich. So in other words,
Ava is like a link.
Is the link that brings from Pnimius Ava, the Moichin of Arich, to the Moichin of Zah. The
right.
Pnimius Ava is and goes even higher to Pnimius Atik.
Right.
And it brings out, which Pnimius Atik is Pnimius Arich. Like in Arich, there's also Gadlus and Katas HaMoichin.
Right.
And Atik works the same way between Ak and Arich, like we said before, that Chesed of Atik is in Golgotha, etc. I mean, that's also, where's Atik? There's
right.
Ak and Arich, where's Atik? Atik is part of Arich. Like we said, it's the same thing.
Right.
And Avo is part of Atzilus. Atzilus is Asiya de Klalos.
Right.
But however, when you say Avo, depends which one you mean. Avo of Atzilus is really Chitzonius Avo.
Right.
Pnimius Avo, Moiches Tima'a, is an Arich.
Right.
And it's higher than Atzilus. And basically, that's the whole union of Avo, is to bring from Pnimius HaMoichin to Chitzonius HaMoichin.
Right.
So it's the interface.
Right.
But the real thing is Dafka de Midos.
Right.
Like in other words, even though you say, what do you mean? Your whole Shita is the main thing is the Hitbonenut. So yeah, the main method is the Hitbonenut. The main goal is Dafka de Midos.
Right.
If you're having Hitbonenut that doesn't improve your Midos, meaning your Rotzen, Midos are Retzainus.
Right.
It's just what's the difference? Midos are Katnus Harotzen and like Ahava, love, fear, Netzach. These are all Retzainus.
Right.
Chochma and Bina, even though you say, yeah, it's a Rotzen for Chochma, but it's not really. The Inyan of Chochma is a different thing from the Inyan of Rotzen.
Right.
Whereas the inyan of the midos is the inyan of ratzon. Meaning to love something means you want it.
Right.
To hate something means you want to stay away from it. But you have a ratzon that you want this thing to stay away from you.
Right.
So netzach is a ratzon to win.
Right.
Haidah means that you're giving up to somebody else's ratzon. And same thing Yesoid. Yesoid is mamish, like we said, it's the middle line. It's mamish connected to the Etzem HaRatzon. Connected to the Kesser, you know. It's the middle line. In other words, the connection is the Ratzon for the Mekabel. It's the Ratzon of the Mekabel for the Mashpia and the Mashpia for the Mekabel. And Malchus is also a Ratzon to rule on the Emloch. It's a Ratzon.
Right.
All the midos are Ratzonis. Whereas Chochmah and Bina, the real inyan of Chochmah and Bina is a different thing from Ratzon.
Right.
And the same thing with Tainuk. Tainuk per se, even though Tainuk and Ratzon is mamish the same thing, but in a way it's really a different inyan. Tainuk is in a way such a different inyan that really when you're having the Tainuk, the Ratzon disappears.
Right.
Even though it's mamish the same thing. But it's a different inyan of the same thing. And if you look in Chassidus in various places, it explains that Tainuk is the real pnimius of Chochmah. Chochmah comes from Tainuk.
Right.
Like Chochmah's Adam Tayarpanov. And what is it? Yolmalech Hefta de Shmaita. And the reason why is because Tainuk means consciousness. That's what it really means. And those are the conduits between the Ratzonis, between the Ratzon of Ak and the Ratzon and the Ratzon Goloi. The conduit is Atik, and between Arich and Zoh, the conduit is of the aim.
Right.
Where are we? Oh yeah. Nik Adam Ditzir v'Ak Adam V'Briya v'Kol Echad Yesh Eshes Tfiras B'Helam V'Gilu Chulu. Ukmosh Nema Lechvoidi Shu Malchus Ve'Einsav Brativ Ak Yitzativ Atik Yamin Ve'Arich Anpin. See, like he's saying, Atik and Arich is Adam Ditzira. Apasisi P'Chinat Zoh, including its Meichen. Kmosh Nema Nase Adam means it's not Midos without Meichen. Midos without Meichen is an animal.
Right.
Nase Adam b'talmeinu chulu. V'hu al derech mashal, tzir kovin, shayis mikatnos l'dovra gadol. And it's like a thing, like a mashal of when you make a little tiny picture of a big thing. K'mo dimin ha'mapa l'kador ha'aretz chulu. Like a map, especially like a globe, you know, like the globe that people have.
Right.
To the kador ha'aretz, to the actual earth. Im kol zeh, nonetheless, yesh b'tzir zeh hakol lo nedar prerequisite shel yud. If you could make a totally exact map.
Right.
You see, obviously, what it means, it's not, you know, where is Ami walking around? Whereas, like you say, you look on a map of Los Angeles. You say, hey, where's my backyard? Where's the tree in my backyard?
Right.
Okay, but let's say you could make, really, you know, like those Chinese ivory elephants, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That you can mamish make, it means mamish a total map of everything. With nothing missing. Except it's very small. Nahar Tak Parsa is on the big one. It's a Nahar which is 500 miles long. Ukai Gab Nachulu. The Kachal Derech Marshal Amida is the Katnos, the Tinach Lagabi Midos the Zokin. It's mamish to say Midos. Happiness is happiness. Sadness is sadness. Love is love. You see, a baby loves, and an old man loves. Zaken Ben Ayin Chulu. Ukmo koyach hamelid b'daimeloi. And like the koyach hamelid that a big guy makes in the koyach hamelid, meaning that it's within the seed to put through all the exact things. It's like a Chinese guy, the kid will come out with Chinese eyes. Right. It'll come out the same like the original. The gam shebayim betzimtzum hayoser achrein legabe b'chinas hamidas. But here Adam Natzilus doesn't mean like the way he said before that Ak is Adam the Bria, so therefore Adam Natzilus will be higher than Ak. It means of Atzilus itself. Shebayim betzimtzum hayoser achrein legabe hamidas the Ak v'arich anpin. Aval mikol mokum hakol echad means mamish everything that's there is there. From tremendous bigness to tremendous smallness. His name is Ma, and his name is Ma, the Midos of Ak, and his son's name is also Ma, Zerampin. His name of Zerampin is also Ma. Ma Shmo, Ma de Ak, Ma Shem B'nai B'chinat Zoh. This one's called Ma and this one's called Ma. How can they both be called the same thing? Well, because this is Midos and this is Midos. And they both Midas are Tainas, except over there it's the infinite total Ratzon, which is infinite even in regards to Arich Anpin, and over here is total and total Katnos. Most of them become a Duchte. V'hainu klalos Hitbonenut v'kol asher chafetz HaShem ba'atzmus orein soiv mamish asa b'shamayim. Shehu b'chinat Zerampin eshumayim Chesed Ugvor dekatnu datzilus chulu ad b'chinat shamayim da'asiyah. Now he sticks in the rest of the book. Chapter Lamed Dalet and onwards. And he's saying, not really, and this is the first yichud to Atzilus, then the whole thing goes over from Malchus of Atzilus. There's a whole new thing with a new Bria, Yetzira, Asiyah, the Katnos. All the way to what he does all the way in Asiyah. Lefish and now Tchilas and B'seif Fan, Michochma B'roish Ta'ak, At Chochma B'seif Midas Izah, Zesh Nemar Baruch Elokei Yisrael Saba Pinas Ak, Baruch Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mina Eilam Vada Eilam. Nemar Bo Barasiv Hulu, they can Shema Yisrael. So Hulu Shu Biash Bechlalus. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem. That Hashem Elokeinu.
Yod Bechlalus. Yichudilah.
What?
Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's Yichudilah.
Yeah. Bia Bechlalus. The Derech Prat Yeser, Arekol Asher Chofetz Hashem, B'midas Datzilus, and that's in general. Over there it says everything he wanted to ask Moses, he did in Zev Nukve. And that's in the Lomas Equalius. And in Pratius, whatever he wanted in Midas Atzilus, also B'Shamayim V'Aretz B'Biyah, Atchinat Mazolos the Galgolim Agashmiyim. So in other words, he's saying this applies two ways. One is Yechudai Law, and then the whole thing repeats itself as Yechudai Ta'ah, all the way till the actual physical sky of this earth. Shevish Hashpos Tatzcham Agashmi and Kmoshit Bar Be'ezus Hashem, like will be explained in the rest of the book. That was Yechudai Law, basically.
Anyways, as far as Butzin,
yeah,
it's in Gemara Brachos Memchet Aleph.
Yeah, what does it say?
There's a Baye v'Rava havu yatzvei kamei derabba.
Yeah.
Amar lahu Rabba said to them, Lamim Mevarchin, who do you say the bracha to?
Yeah.
Amrei lei, so they said to him, L'rachamana.
Yeah.
Rachamana heicha yativ, so you asked him, so where's the Rachamana?
Where does
Rabba,
Rachamana sit?
Where is he?
Yeah.
They were little kids.
Yeah.
Rava Nachve Lishmei Tlala. Rava pointed to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Abai Nafak Lebara Nachve Klape Shmaya. He
What?
went out. Abaye went outside and he pointed to the sky.
Yeah.
Amar lahu Rabba, so Rabba said to them, Tarvaychu Rabbanan Avitu. Both of you will grow up to be rabbis.
Yeah.
And then the Gemara says, Hainu de Amre Inshi, this is like what people say, Butzin Mikitfe Yediya.
Yeah. When the
Small pumpkins are discernible when they from their sap that comes out.
Yeah, the big tree, you can already tell when it's a little tree what it's going to be.
Right. You can tell what the small pumpkins are going to be from the sap that comes out of them.
From the little, not sap, the
sapling.
The sapling, that's it. Sap means the blood.
Butzin Mikitfe Yediya.
Yeah, kitfe is a sapling. A sap means sap is like the maple syrup.
We was talking about a sapling.
Sap is the blood of the tree.
Yeah,
sapling.
the sapling.
From the sapling. You know the big tree from the sapling.
Yeah, you know the little pumpkin. You know it's from the sapling.
Right. You know what you know what kind of plant it's going to be as soon as you see the sapling.
Right.
Yeah. So that even though it's small, you can see all the big in it already. It's exactly the same. Okay, so that's that. So I'll try to put
Let me turn off the
together